trees again, and we are in Sydney, Australia at the Opera House and the Royal Gardens. These Royal Gardens are 195 years old. The kings had people go out all over the world and get trees and plant them here. So as we go through this first part, I'm going to show you some of the bigger trees that are indigenous and also have been planted. Here's a pine tree. It's a tree that is indigenous to the Australian territory. As you see, it's probably 90 feet to 100 feet tall. Now here's another pine tree. If you veer up and you can see the sheer mass of the tree.
Whoa.
I would say it's about 150 feet tall. Here's a eucalyptus here. And keep in mind, these trees are over 100, 150, 200 years old almost. This is the eucalyptus, the tallow wood eucalyptus. This tree is a Moreton Bay fig, and it's probably real close to 150 plus years old. And I just want to show you this buttress root sticking out. Probably goes 35 feet down, 40 feet down. And just these branches reach out 50 feet wide and 70 feet tall. We're in front of a podocarpus, and this tree was put in the ground, planted in 1850, and it's got all these berries. On most podocarpuses in the state, they don't produce this. One, because they're probably not old enough. And two, there's different varieties of podocarpus, of course. And this is, gosh, over 100 years old. And if you look at the trunk map, it's a rarity to see a trunk of this size in that podocarpus species in California. We don't have trees that old in California. In this species, they only last about 60 to 80 years that I know of, but you know, this is the first time I've seen a 120-year-old podocarpus. We are at a cork oak that was planted in 1820, and you look at the mass of this tree, it's not that big comparative to the other trees we looked at for being, you know, 150 years plus. And the bark is really cool. It's got a lot of insect penetration and woodpecker penetration, but the tree's able to defend itself. You look here, it's not as rough, but you get up farther up into the tree and it just pops out. You got 3 or 4 inches of separation from the bark to the tree. It's really cool looking. And this is a camphor laurel, a very common in California. You can see the lightning strike that happened there before, or some sort of fire, but it looks more like a lightning strike where the tree actually blew apart and then reestablished 3 separate arms and is recovering from the burn. We're looking at a hoop pine, H-O-O-P pine. Reaches about 150 feet tall. Established or planted in 1850, and so it's very similar to the star pine that we have in the state. Looks like a fig tree, but then you have a turpentine tree behind it, and then ferns popping up all the way through the canopy. So there's several trees in one area growing together, and all collected by this one tree in the center. And then if you look all the way up, you can see that staghorn fern in the tree with other ferns connected to it. Pretty awesome. And we're at a historical Jackson Bay fig. This crevice here is about probably 5 feet deep, and it's blackened on the inside. There either was a fire or a lightning strike that had split this tree. Why don't you get a picture going up the tree if you can? Awesome. We're on a walkabout in Australia, and we'll come back to more trees. Thank you. Hello, this is Don of These Are Trees Incorporated, and we are in Cairns, Australia. This area specifically is called Palm Cove. We've been to Sydney, to Cairns, to Port Douglas, and then farther north would be the Daintree Forest, where we did zip line and saw crocodiles and just a lot of cool stuff. But we're here in Palm Cove, and I just wanted to show you the structure and the mass of the Melaleuca. So we are closing our tour here, and so we will catch you on the next walkabout on Arbor Quest 2012. But this is again, we just thank you for coming to the website and seeing Australia through our eyes. All right, thank you.